um, this story that you want to bring up today. I mean, yeah, let's get into this. Like, tell us about this story.
Yeah, so the Peshtigo fire.
Right.
I grew up in Michigan, and
Right.
it's just a hop and a skip over the lake into literally the state of Wisconsin. I mean, it's about 45 miles from Green Bay that this took place. And I had no idea it had ever happened. So this is a very, very overlooked event. And the reason it's so overlooked is it actually happened October 8th, 1871. Now, that is the same night as the Chicago fire. The Chicago fire made huge, huge news, and it overshadowed the Peshtigo fire. Now, the funny thing about this is those two fires were not the only fires that happened that night or even that month.
Right.
It's insane. So anybody who's been to that part of the U.S. knows it is a very humid area. I mean, you're surrounded by lakes. Well, that year happened to be a drought year, and it actually had carried over. So that spring had been dry, that summer had been dry. The winter before had actually been drier than normal, which is very, very rare. It happens, but it's rare.
Okay.
So it literally had been a months-long drought that year. And going into the fall, and actually October is generally very wet in that area. And it was still right in the middle of the drought. And so it was very dry and just not a safe environment for any type of fires at all. And, oh yeah. It actually, parts of Michigan were having the same issues, and all over the state of Wisconsin. And actually, there are several reports, newspapers and such, where the people actually recalled after all of this that they had seen the smoke and the flames, or the light of flames.
Oh, wow. Right, yeah.
Days. Yeah.
What?
Before this ever happened.
Well, again, and that's a big thing, because, I mean, obviously, seeing it for days and weeks is a massive thing. I mean, I think you meant, like, you know, hey, we just seen, like, you know, if I just start up over in this area, like, can we get someone to come over and, like, fix this? But days and weeks? No, that's a completely different story.
They were surrounded through the whole month of October.
Right.
Yeah, so, it was massive. It was only a matter of time until these fires just went everywhere.
Right.
And actually, even though it's called the Peshtigo fire, it did not only burn Peshtigo.
Okay.
So, now, things are a little fuzzy simply because there were so many fires. But
at the same time, or just?
At the same time, yes.
Right, okay, yeah, got it.
But they figure this particular grouping of firestorms burned across between 6 to 8 counties, depending on which site you use. Now, I will not use sites like Wikipedia simply because I like to use reputable sources.
Okay.
So I tend to look more toward Encyclopedia Britannica. These facts that I have right now actually came from the historical societies, either in Wisconsin as a state or at the Peshtigo site, because there is a Peshtigo Fire Historical Society.
I was going to ask,
This is all from these groups who actually have more of one-on-one experience with either the survivors or knowledge of the area, things like that.
Yeah, okay.
So this is as close as possible to accurate. But they do not have a complete picture, even to this day, of how bad this was.
Yeah.
So the actual fire is named after Peshtigo simply because even though it burned so much, Peshtigo took the brunt. Peshtigo was one of 2 villages or towns that were absolutely decimated by this fire. So the fire actually doesn't even have a clear start.
Right.
The closest anybody can come to what started it was a potential brush fire that got out of control.
Yeah.
The theory that tends to be what people go with is that the railroad was clearing debris and it just happened that a spark flew and everything went up in flames.
So no one can be really blamed, okay.
Nobody can really lay blame anywhere.
Because, you can't point a finger,
Yeah. Well, and you think about it, this was during the time of steam engines.
Yeah.
You had coal engines going through. What are they throwing? They're throwing sparks.
Yeah.
You know, you have whole towns with wooden buildings.
Yeah.
There was a tinderbox waiting to happen. You know, there was nothing that these people could do at this point.
Oh, man, this is just tragic.
It is. It really is. And it's wild because you hear about the Chicago fire, and with the size of Chicago, they only had 200 people die that night, which is tragic in itself. I mean, that's 200 lives lost.
Of course, yeah. Any life loss is tragic.
Oh, absolutely. But when you look at the fires comparatively, you take something the size of Chicago, and you've lost 200 people, and as a comparative, that's not a big deal. You lost more buildings in Chicago than you did life. And in a warped way of looking at it, that's actually better news.
Yeah.
Because buildings can be replaced. You know.
Yeah,
it's
thankfully.
the people that matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Peshtigo, at the time that this happened, only had about 2,000 residents. It was a village. It was a logging village. And not only was it just a logging village, it had a river running through it. Okay? So, like, they're not in the middle of the forest with nothing.
Yeah.
And estimates for the loss of life are over 700.
Whoa.
Yeah. 700 is the low end of the estimation. I've seen as high as 800 and 900 people lost.
So the actual official count was never really
It's
never
never
done.
been confirmed. No, they can't
Right.
possibly figure out the official count. I have seen estimates as low as 1,200.
Right.
I have seen up to 2,500.
Jeez.
Yeah. The
I mean, oh my God.
closest estimation
Yeah.
that anybody can say makes sense to
Yeah.
actually having established numbers. At one point, they had 1,152 known dead, and at least
Known.
another 300 known,
Mm.
and at least another 350 believed dead.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they estimated another 1,500 seriously injured and at least 3,000 homeless.
I'm going to ask a silly question now. Regarding hospitals and stuff like that, how close were the hospitals to taking people exactly?
Green Bay was about 45 miles away.
45 miles.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. These were little villages out in the forest. These were lumberjack families. These were immigrant farmers. It was very small communities.
Right.
Doing this.
Right.
And that's part of why the toll was so massive. Also,
yeah.
I mean, those numbers in themselves are bad. Okay. I know. I say that as if it can't possibly get worse, but it does get worse.
Come on now. I mean, how much worse can this get? I mean, this is like, jeez.
They figure more than 280,000 acres burned.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the toll was massive. So even if there was something closer,
right,
you couldn't get to it. It was gone. It was literally gone. They figure that the path of this, and we're kind of stepping into like tornado terminology here.
Right. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
The path.
Yeah.
Of this fire, if you consider it like a tornado path, they figure it was a 10-mile wide by 40-mile long path of fire. Yeah. Yeah. It was massive. Massive. And the people
that's...
yeah. Imagine that.
I don't want to.
You did have... I don't think anybody does.
No.
And the survivors, you did actually have survivors of this. As amazing
I'm guessing very few.
Sounds. Very few. Yes, very few. But those that did survive said they just saw nothing but walls of fire. Even the sky was on fire.
Oh my God. So literally they saw hell.
Yes. Most of them treated this as the end of the world. Yes. Yes.
How can you blame them? I mean, like, come on, like, something like that.
It's
No way.
incredible that they even survived, let alone were able to go on and actually rebuild the
Yeah.
town.
Wait, hang on.
And
Rebuild it?
they rebuilt the town, yes.
I
They
mean,
started from literal scratch.
how many people were around to actually help rebuild the town? Like, the original survivors, at least, or that's
They don't
never said.
have a number.
Okay.
And even those that survived,
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of injuries and
Yeah.
just things that, they had to overcome. Because I said that this was actually a village on a river. The
Right.
river ran right through the middle of the town. Okay. So, like, that was their water for the town.
But
like if they were fighting fires or if they were irrigating, things like that. They had the river right there.
I mean, you also
Now,
said about the drought.
yeah, it wasn't great. There was water in the river, and that was a double-edged sword for the people because the
Oh my God.
survivors, that's what saved most of the survivors.
Because they jumped into the water.
They did. They jumped into the water and they submerged themselves up to their necks and then splashed their heads with water to keep the flames off of their heads.
Oh my God.
And
Oh
that's
my
how
God.
most of them survived.
Oh my. Oh no. Mm-mm.
Yeah. A lot of them actually who made it to the river drowned because they were in there for 5, 6, 7 hours waiting for this
burnt so bad.
Yes. When it burnt, like the actual town burned down in an hour. But the fire itself only lasted about 2 hours from what people can remember. I mean, it was hard to tell for them, honestly, because it started at about 10 p.m. And it was just chaos when it started.
Because I want to go,
What?
Go. I was going to touch on an earlier point that you made earlier, because I mean, you said like, people were able to see it for days and weeks or something, this fire.
They were basically surrounded by mini fires.
Right, okay.
For a month, yeah.
Right,
but
okay.
They had not actually been touched by any of them. So it's akin to living on high alert that, yes, this could turn into something.
Yeah.
But we're safe right now. This ultimately became the night of a perfect storm. Because...
It sounds it.
Well, what helped spread it so fast...
Yeah.
There was literally a meeting of 2 pressure systems, and it caused absolute devastation because they actually compare this firestorm to a tornado or hurricane with gale force winds that were possibly in excess of 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I was worried you're going to say about winds like this. Yeah.
So that is what, I mean, it just drove this fire forward.
Oh my goodness.
And, I mean, these people, many of them were in bed. I mean,
you had
people that were leaving church, but you had a lot that were in bed. You had some that were, settled in and not out where they would have seen things coming.
Yeah.
And the winds had died down earlier in the day. And it was just a soft breeze. And then those two pressure systems hit. And it kicked up a storm immediately that just sounded horrifyingly loud.
God.
And that and the
Screams.
fire are what actually just woke people.
Yeah.
But it was chaos because a lot of people woke up to this roaring noise and fire over their heads.
I mean, I've got questions right now.
What are your questions?
Okay, and again, they probably sound silly, but I mean, I've got to ask, where's the nearest fire engine, like, like fire department, things like this?
They actually had a fire engine at the river trying to hold it off, and it just did not touch the blaze.
Jesus.
They gave up. They literally gave up and ran because they knew it was a lost cause.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, about half of the community ran for the river, thinking that it would be safe. And the fire burned the bridge where they were at, and it collapsed into the river.
No.
Yes.
Is there like pictures of the bridge itself, like images?
I have not found the bridge itself. Now I have found pictures of the fire sites. What's left of the area, and really there was nothing left. I mean, it was
tragic.
Decimated.
Yeah.
There was a brick kiln had been left standing, and a partially constructed house because it was fresh timber, so it was still the greener wood that doesn't burn as well. Those were the only two things left standing. The heat was so intense from this fire that it literally melted a church bell.
Oh my goodness.
Patches of sand into glass.
What?
Yeah. So those who didn't actually burn in the fire, because a lot of them didn't actually burn, they died because they were literally roasted.
Oh.
They had coins in their pockets that were melted.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah. Now remember, something to think about. Like, this isn't even just like these people died of heat.
Yeah.
They're breathing this in.
Yeah. This hot air
going into their lungs. They're basically suffocating.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
the levels of absolute horror these people saw.
Right.
There's an account from one of the survivors. He literally went blind. He crawled out of the river, and the hypothermia because I mean, you have this intense heat, and then you come out and you don't have anything. You don't have a place to go get warm. You don't have a change of clothes. You have nothing.
You got nothing. Yeah, literally.
And you're coming out of a soaking wet river in October in the north.
Yeah.
That is hypothermia waiting to happen
on
any normal day.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, this is
this is extreme.
Yeah, it's one extreme to the next. I mean, like,
it is. And he literally recalls that he crawled up on the bank and he basically like sunned himself and found like warm patches, and he got his outer clothes dry, but his inner clothes were soaked and it chilled him to the bone, he said. And he took his socks and shoes off and put his feet against one of those patches of hot ground just to help like give him that little bit of extra comfort to try to help warm him up and give him that sense of relief. And he went blind. Like his eyes, he had tried to keep himself protected.
Yeah.
But the heat and the dust in the air and the ashes and all of that, it literally caused him temporary blindness.
Oh my God.
And he still, the amazing part is he still went around helping people, even though he was blinded and suffering like he was.
I mean, hats off to him. Yeah, for sure. Well, he was one of the ministers there. And so he was giving people their last rites and sitting with them as they passed. And, you know, it's just incredible, the stories. Do we have a name for him?
You know what? I think I can find his name.
Yeah, because, I mean, we need to honor this guy. I mean, yeah, we need to honor him. I mean, like, you know, this guy, like, did something incredible. I mean,
he did.
Despite everything.
He really did.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
he needs to be honored.
He did so much.
I feel sorry for him. I mean, like, jeez.
His name is Father Pernin.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping they've made a statue for him or something, you know, like in honor of him.
They have a general memorial for all of the victims.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it is hard. It is so hard because they don't have the names of.
Yeah.
And it's really sad that.
It's tragic.
It is. And what blows my mind, even more so than all of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Chicago was getting help almost immediately.
Right.
Okay. Not that I don't think they needed it, because they absolutely did.
Okay, yeah.
You know. But it took 2 days for the people of Peshtigo to actually start getting help.
Why? I don't understand this. Like, why was Peshtigo, like, treated like, because, you know, like the abandoned child?
They were so far out, and when the fires hit, it destroyed the telegram lines. It destroyed everything. Like, it actually destroyed the railroad. It just everything was gone.
Jeez.
And so these people had to get out.
Yeah.
Until the next town's over.
Yeah.
And it
just warned them.
Slowly, yeah. It just took so long for the news to reach any place of actual substance that could help them.
So, I mean, in some ways, I mean, once the phone lines were, like, you know, like, down in that sense, I kind of don't feel like, you know, like, so upset now, because it's a case of, look, if there was ways of contact, then definitely people would have made ways of contact to try and, like, you know, like, try and say something like, look, we're dealing with a massive fire here, like, you know, like, we need help, emergency right now. But the fact that the phone lines went down, like, the way that it did, I can kind of understand why now.
It cut them off. It
Yeah.
completely cut them off from everyone.
And it's tragic because, I mean, like, they literally felt they're cut off from the world in a sense.
Oh yeah.
In that way. I mean, what amazed me is that you said that they built the town over again.
They did. They did. Actually, the town now has a Peshtigo Fire Museum dedicated to, keeping this alive. I mean, there's a memorial for the people who passed,
Yeah.
and for just the event itself it's kind of a, we remember the victims.
You
We
have
celebrate
to.
the survivors.
Yeah.
And we remember this part of our history.
You have
like
to.
this happened.
Yeah.
And inside one of the churches is the museum now.
Oh man.
So yeah, they built it up. They built it better than what it was, but it took time. And
it was.
what I mean, these poor people, because
It's tragic.
it took 2 days to get the news out.
Yeah.
Now, October 10th, it actually reached Madison, Wisconsin. Okay.
All right.
Now, the governor at the time was named Lucius Fairchild. He was out of the city. He wasn't even there.
Okay.
And his wife jumped in and said, "This is what we're doing." And she started gathering food and clothing and starting the whole process to get these people help.
Yeah.
I mean,
good for
they
her.
didn't even wait, right? Because, I mean, they'd already gone 2 days with nothing.
Yeah.
And, most of them didn't know where their family was, if they were even alive. There were people that had taken shelter in one of the buildings, and the whole building went. Every single person that was in there was gone.
Jeez.
And so you had people that had no idea if they had family left. You know, they knew they didn't have homes. They knew that was gone. But, you had people still looking for friends and family with literally the clothes on their back, if they were that lucky.
You said if they're that lucky, I mean...
At times it burned the clothes. I mean, there were times that they got hit with the sparks in the air, and it literally would burn their clothes. Some of them had little more than rags by the time that they were done. I mean, I can't imagine. I have seen fire and I've seen what it can do.
Yeah.
But to literally think that a whole town got wiped off the map, and these people didn't even have the time to grab anything.
Yeah.
They really didn't even have time to grab their kids or their pets or their...
Nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, ripped in half. I mean, that's...
Yeah. Well, and it was so bad. I mean, when we stop and think of like a house fire or something of that nature, we think of the furniture that's inside, or we think of the logistics. How am I going to grab the cat or the dog or the
of course,
the pets?
Yeah.
How am I going to grab my ID? How am I,
Yeah. Yeah.
people talk about having emergency go bags,
Yeah.
things where they can just grab and get.
Yeah.
And when you talk about your emergency plans, how are you going to get out of the house? How are you going to... Not only did these people not have that option, the animals from the surrounding forest were invading the town, trying to get away from this fire.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean...
So you're dodging people, but you're also dodging the farm animals that you have in the town.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you've got literal birds falling out of the sky on you.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
deer running through the streets, and,
Rampant.
all of these creatures that you're dodging or trying not to get kicked by or stampeded over, or, there's just this whole other element of danger on top of an already horrible situation.
Yeah. It's just so sad to hear it. I mean, like, these poor people had no chance of escape.
No, they really didn't.
And, you saying about the barn and all of that, that really hits home a lot. I mean, like, there's people thinking, look, let's go in the barn, we'll be safe in there, and to know, like, that basically sealed their fate. I mean, it's so tragic. You never think, I mean, is this where, again, like, obviously I'm not American. I don't really know too much of the American history itself. Is this kind of where, like, Smokey the Bear came in? Or did he come in a bit later?
It plays a large part into it. Now, he came in much later.
Right.
But at the time that this happened, it was very, very common practice to just clear a forest with no real regard to planning ahead. You also had a lot of brush clearing, and they would just burn it off, and once it had died down to almost nothing, they would just walk away. It was
really?
Eventually, yes.
Walk away? Come on now.
Walk away. Yes.
This isn't like, some...
common...
No. This isn't some dramatic scene from Hollywood. I mean, you can't just walk away and say, oh, yeah, like, now, and I'm sorry to say this, I mean, like, I've got that stupid song in my head, like, we didn't start the fire.
It was, It was a very common thing that they would walk away once it was down to embers. And generally speaking, in this day and age, generally speaking, in that area, it is possible to do. It's not advised by any means, but it is possible.
Right.
And something of this nature is less likely to happen. That year was so dry that there should have never been any fires started, let alone left. So, generally speaking, up there it is very, very humid. There is dampness in the forest, especially in the forest.
Yeah.
Because you have the leaf litter, you have a lot of things that hold the moisture into the ground.
Yeah.
And so, even as a kid, I remember there were times, there would be an ember or two from a bonfire, or generally it was a fire pit in a backyard, so it was not going to be
too bad.
devastating.
Yeah.
And you have people there watching it. But this was a whole different
This is a
type of weather.
extreme level.
Yes. Because this actually would burn trees down to the roots. Like, it would leave holes in the ground.
Yeah, bad.
And that, honestly, I had never even seen that. Yeah. I mean, anybody who's made a fire is used to, you've got chunks of wood left. You've got,
Yeah.
ashes.
At the end.
For a full tree to literally burn down to the roots so bad that it leaves a hole in the ground.
That's awful.
It's beyond mind-boggling. Just
it is.
How that's incinerator level. Like, that is absolute incinerator level fire.
Yeah. I mean, I've never heard of a tree being burnt that badly. Like, that there's literally nothing. Like, you burnt the seeds entirely. Like, that is insanity.
Yeah.
Again, another silly question, possibly. Do you know what the population was at the time before this fire started?
The closest measurement that we have as far as the number of people was 10,000, and that was the year before. And there is some estimation that it had actually grown.
Yeah.
Because of an influx. Lumber was huge up there. Like, it was the biggest job in that area.
Right.
Actually, that area was close to one of the biggest lumber yards of the area.
Right, so okay.
It was a huge thing. They went through and I believe I read they were putting out about 150,000 feet of lumber a day in that area. So, I mean, it was huge. It was a big deal. And I can absolutely believe that the population had grown because it wasn't just lumber in the town. I mean, you had places that would have been making machines. I mean, they had to have machines to do all of this.
Yeah.
And you would have had, places that would have built all of the stuff to actually put these buildings together. Your doors, your blinds, your windows, your everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a very thriving small community. And I say small as, it was probably still under 5,000, if I had to guess. But, I mean, they were starting to populate the area pretty well. But, I mean, that's still not very much when you consider the amount of lives lost.
No, it's not.
I mean, you're looking at almost half of them in the guesstimation of how many were lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's a hard pill to swallow.
It is. Because we don't have numbers on how many of those survivors were children. How many of them, were part of a couple. How many of them are parents that lost their kid? We don't know that. That's never been anywhere that I have looked where there was anything that said, this many people lost, a parent or a sibling or whatever.
There's no way of finding out, I guess.
No, no. All we
Um,
have are
yeah.
those stories from those who survived, and they really couldn't even begin to process at that time.
And I mean, it's a traumatic event as well. I mean, like, come on now. Like we said about, like, you say it was a minister, if I'm correct?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, like, like, literally the minister, I mean, like, like, he had to choose, like, the lesser of two evils. I mean, like, like, go into the water or, like, get the heat. I mean, which of the two do you want to do? Like, like, choose your poison in a sense.
Yeah, it really
Literally.
was. Because even being in the water was not entirely safe.
No.
I mean, you literally have flames on all sides of you. You had flames over you that could have burned your head. Like, you had to keep your head wet. You were up to your neck in water and then splashing water over your head just so you didn't burn still. And if you're running for the water, guess what else is running for the water?
Oh my god, the alligators and stuff.
Well, you don't have alligators in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Not in Wisconsin.
You don't? Alright, fair enough. What do you have in there? Is it just crocodiles?
Nope. No
what
crocodiles.
do you have?
None. Well, it would have been all the cattle, the horses, all of the wildlife from the. But you start putting 3-4 cows in a river. What's going to happen? Yeah. So you have people that were literally in the river and, may or may not have been able to swim anyway.
Yeah.
And you get pushed over by a cow, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I've been around some cows.
They're strong creatures.
Yeah.
They will bully you.
That cow out of the way. Yes, they will.
Yeah.
They absolutely
will bully you. Yeah.
And you add fear on top of that, that cow is not giving way to you.
No.
And so some of these people were knocked off of whatever they were floating on by animals.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm sorry to say it, but I mean, the animals are saying, look, it's survival of the fittest.
At this point, yes, they were.
Yeah, and I mean, like, they're not going to go down without a fight either. I mean, they're scared out of their minds. They're scared out of their minds. They don't know what to do. Like, they feel abandoned. Yeah, I mean, I can't blame them for, like, being in a fight and flight mode. Like, like, they literally are in that sense. I mean, like, come on now. Like, anyone would be in their right mind. Well, I mean, like, you're literally running for fear.
Really out of their mind with fear. Yep.
Yeah, you're literally running out of fear. Like,
and it was chaos. It was human chaos. It was animal chaos, nature chaos, all in one area. And you had deer and birds and, rabbits, anything that was nearby.
Yeah.
Trying to get into the water. You had the cows, the horses, the dogs getting in. You had people. I mean, there was only so much water. So you had people getting knocked over, getting crushed, getting, There is one story I found of an animal actually did save a girl.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, please tell.
Yeah. She actually hung on to a cow's horn for like 5 hours.
Wow.
And that's
she is strong.
Survived. Yeah.
Does it say how old she was?
It did not. It didn't even give a name. So that is something I would like to try to find out more on, honestly.
Yeah.
because I can't. I've been around some cows, and I've had some that were very chill, but you don't go holding on to a cow's horn for 5 hours without the thing getting a little peeved at you every now and then.
Yeah.
And that's under ideal circumstances.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, to be honest with you, I mean, like, yeah, it's like someone clinging onto your arm for, like, X amount of time. It's like, alright, you're killing my arm now.
Yeah, like, get off me.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness.
It's absolute devastation.
So, alright, so, I mean, can we confirm that legitimately happened, or is that just, do you think that's just...
it happened.
Oh, it legitimately, okay, alright, okay.
Yeah,
because
it is a recalled, it is a survivor story. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that much is confirmed, that is how she survived.
But again, she wants to be, well, I'm guessing she would like to remain anonymous, and fair play to her, like, if that's the case.
I don't know that it was a matter of remaining anonymous. I think a lot of these stories were collected by the Reverend.
Right.
And so a lot of them were put together after the fact.
Yeah.
And not generally in a place where you could just sit down and comfortably recall memories.
Yeah.
So a lot of it actually was brought out about 50 years after this happened as a reminder
50?
of what, yes. They actually put a lot of this out in the newspaper as a memorial of these are the stories that came out of this.
Wait, why so long?
We have some weird things over here where we're just like, oh, it's been 50 years already. Let's look back on this day in history.
I mean, come on now, like 50 years, that's insane. I mean, come on. That should be a lot sooner. I mean, you're honouring these people who have unfortunately passed away. Wow.
Sometimes people here are a little bit slow to act.
That is unbelievably slow.
That is unbelievably slow. Now, I don't know for sure if, I mean, obviously I was not around at that time.
Yeah, neither of us were, yeah.
I don't know if it was a matter of, like, the time and era, and it just took everybody that long to get on their feet and get things. And they're like, oh, this is kind of a milestone time. Let's do this, Or if it was, like, they did this for a few years in memory, and then it kind of died off to the big numbers, the 25, 50, 100. I can't say how well they memorialized anything. I mean, I grew up in Michigan literally from the time I was 2 until the time I was about 20. And in all that time, I had never heard of Peshtigo.
So was it even used in, like, history books then for you, then, like, when you went to school?
No.
Wow.
Now, I had heard about the Chicago fire.
Right.
I told you I was in Michigan and Chicago was in Illinois.
Right.
That was like an 8-hour drive for me.
Right.
And, I'd heard about that one. But never had I heard about Peshtigo. Did not know that there was a town. Did not know, it had burned down. Nothing. Never had any inkling that it was a thing. And would not have until I actually moved here.
Yeah.
And I happened to because I'm a nerd. I admit it, I'm a nerd.
No.
Great. I'm a nerd. I know this. You don't have to sugarcoat.
No, we're not. We put the sugar away.
Okay. So I went to the library and
Yeah.
I actually looked into some of the history books.
Right.
And I found one. It was like unknown events in history or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it caught my attention. I'm like, I'm curious. What ones are in here that I don't know?
Right.
And this was one of the stories in there. And I'm going, yeah, that's going home with me because now I'm curious.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was how I learned about this. Half a country away and years down the road. And I'm just now finding out about it, as a grown adult when I'm not even in the same area.
This is going to sound like a weird question, but I mean, was there any like newspaper clippings or reports about it, like about it at all?
There are some newspaper reports on it, yes.
Right.
If you go online, you can actually find it in the Wisconsin Historical.
Oh, wow.
Files.
Okay. Right.
So a lot of the states have digitized their collections.
Yeah.
So old newspapers, historical photos, things like that.
Yeah.
And so you can actually look back at previous editions of different newspapers through the eras.
Right.
And this is in there. As a matter of fact, they have at least 4 or 5 different photos post-fire of the area that are digitally saved.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's just absolutely devastating to see. You look at the photographs and it's just nothing but bare ground and what looks like twigs sticking up. And they're all bare. Every bit of it's bare.
I don't think I'd be able to be honest with you. I think I'd have the stomach to because it's too sad. I mean,
it really hits home looking at them. That, this just devastated the area.
Yeah.
And, how do you mourn after that? You have people that, a funeral for one person is a lot.
Yeah, but this is just a whole eve.
Yeah. And I'm like, I can't imagine the effort these people put in to, make a cemetery for these people. Do the graves,
Well, I was going to ask about that because, you said about, rebuilding the town.
I'm going to be honest. I could not bring myself to go into all of that right now.
Right. No, that's fair.
Simply because, I could not imagine the absolute...
The smell and everything like that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be honest. I hadn't even thought about the smell, but, you've got charred wood. You've got the animals that never made it out, and that whole smell. scorched earth. I mean, not to
God.
mention, the clothing or the metals, the
Everything.
machinery. Like,
Yeah.
you've got all of that just mingling. I
How
cannot.
how those people did it. I mean, hats off to them. Because that was probably
Yeah.
one of the hardest things to do. And
Well,
knowing they could have been like a friend, a family member. Like you said, you got no idea.
no. And that's the people that they found. I mean, we're talking absolute devastation.
Yeah.
Did they even find everybody?
I
We don't know.
I
There's
I
no telling if they knew.
no, I don't think. I am very surprised when you said that they rebuilt on that land itself, because I mean, at the end of the day, I think rebuilding the country, it's that town itself, that area. I I don't know. I mean, like, how much of the original place can you actually go near?
I mean, there was nothing original there. Not anymore.
But even so, I mean, you said about the church and that.
They rebuilt it.
Yeah.
You had the kiln, and you had a half a house that had been started, but it was not a finished building.
Yeah.
And that was all that was standing. Everything
But
else
that's what I mean.
had been burned to the ground. So, I mean, you basically were starting from absolute ground zero.
I mean, geez, that just hits right in your stomach. That does.
It does.
That just hits you so hard.
I don't know that I would have been able to stay.
No, because I mean, honest, no,
yeah. I probably
it's too
would have
tragic.
been on the first ride out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to walk down the street and go, yes, this is where, this store was, or I couldn't have done it. Could not.
You really do need to have a strong stomach to go back and see something like that and just be like, look, this is where I was or whatever. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, there's some people who do have that mentality who can do it, but it depends on how quickly they went to go visit. And yeah,
I think a lot of that ability for them, and I could be wrong, but this is just from my research, this is a guess. But a lot of these people were immigrants.
Yeah.
They were not from here. A lot of them had come over. That was all they knew. That was the only place they knew. They had
that was their home.
Gotten off the boat and taken in, whatever they had to do to get to that area. And that's where they settled. That was home for a lot of them. And they didn't know anything else.
So I do have to raise a question, because I mean, you did say the word immigrants. Do you know what type of immigrants they were at all? Sorry.
German, Swedish, a lot of German and Swedish in that area.
Okay. Wow.
So, yeah.
Because this is the thing. I mean, like, when we hear the words immigrant, we don't really think, like what type at all. Like, sometimes we think, okay, like, it must be like, obviously a black person or something like that. But it's surprising when you said, like, like German, Swedish, people like this. It's like, oh, this is completely like, like turn my mind completely around.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What were they actually working on? Yeah.
They had gone to be lumberjacks in that area.
And so
most of them had some kind of craft with wood, and that's what they did.
And so that was the whole purpose of that town itself, was just like completely for that alone.
Yep. That was it. And that adds a whole other element that
Yeah.
like we haven't even talked about.
Okay, please, yeah.
You know,
Go ahead.
these people were immigrants. They left their homeland. They left everything they knew. They left family. They left friends. They left cultures. You know, language. They left everything that they were comfortable with and
Come live
came
there.
here and then lost everything again that they had built
Yeah.
and had to start all over again.
My goodness.
I'm gonna be honest. I would probably be real close to being like, I'm done. I cannot do a third or fourth time. I'm done. I can't. For them to do what they did, I mean, it's scary
Good for
moving,
them.
you know, across a country.
Yeah.
And you're not giving up your language, and you're not giving up your culture. You're not giving up everything you know.
Yeah.
These people literally crossed oceans
Yeah.
into a whole new land
Yeah.
and started all over,
Yeah.
only to have their entire life
Gone.
wiped out and start from scratch again.
Yeah.
With not even, you know, more than the clothes on their back.
It's just so sad. It really is. I mean, I
It
really do.
is. I mean, I feel so bad for these people.
Yeah.
Because they're not remembered.
No,
Not
and that's
to
the
the
sad
level
thing.
that they should be.
Yeah.
I mean, they are eclipsed by the Chicago fire.
Yeah, I mean,
And
yeah.
both were devastating. Both were horrible. Both were just, you know, horrible, horrible events that resulted in tragedy.
It's not fair at all. It's not really fair.
No. These people need to be remembered as well. I mean, they need to have the recognition that they deserve. You know.
Yeah. I mean,
remember both without dimming either one.
Especially the minister. I mean, like, you know, like for the minister to do what he did, yeah.
For him to do
what he did,
incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I could not imagine. It would be hard enough to sit with people who die.
Yeah.
In perfect health.
Yeah.
You know. But to do it when you are absolutely exhausted, your lungs are burning, you're blind because your eyes have been so damaged by fire. And to still sit with these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine the pain that he was feeling that he had to push aside.
Yeah.
To do what he did.
That's incredible
turn
willpower.
around and collect all these stories and put all of these memories together years later. I mean,
is there like a documentary? Go on, sorry.
I have not heard of a documentary. I am really, really surprised.
Yeah.
But I've not heard of a documentary. I've not heard of like a history show on it.
Right.
Or anything. I found it in one book. I've only ever seen this one book where it was mentioned, and it was only like maybe 10 pages for that chapter. Yeah. I mean, it's just an overview of like, this is what it happened, this is what led up to it, this is, you know, the aftermath, and then it's on to the next. Like, for all intents and purposes, outside of that local area, this does not exist for people.
You personally, why do you think it's not being given the recognition that it deserves?
I think a lot of it falls to just awareness. I really think a lot of it just falls to human awareness. You know, when we look at tragedy, you know, a lot of us feel that all tragedy is bad.
Yeah.
And that is as it should be.
Right, of course, yeah.
But when you look at something like, for example, you've got the Titanic. The Titanic is known worldwide.
Yeah.
Why? Because you had such a dramatic loss of life.
Yeah.
It was such big news. You had this huge, wonderful, magnificent boat, ship, whatever you want to call it, because I know I will get grief for that.
Yeah.
It was yes, I know. I knew as soon as I said it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was the majestic floating palace. And it got the reputation as being unsinkable. This was the epitome of human power. We had an unsinkable ship who was, you know, going to be the fastest and what happened? It sank, and it took so many lives with it.
Yeah.
You know, it was an international incident. How many more ships have sank that you never hear about?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, I think there was talk about Titanic too,
yeah. I mean, people are talking about it like we didn't learn from the first one. You know?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm not sure that I would want to be
the
on
second
something
one
named Titanic. To be fair, I'm not sure I want anything with the White Star name on it under my feet. You know,
I mean, that could be arranged.
So many. I think I'm good, thanks. I'm
just saying, we could have some trainers like that for you if you wanted it.
I think I'm good. I don't want to go down with the ship.
You are the captain of this ship.
I mean, Dad. No, you think about it, you know, you've got Titanic.
Yeah.
That was not the only ship. You know, you had Britannic and you had Olympic.
Yeah. And again.
And what happened?
Yeah.
You know, Britannic is sitting at the bottom of the ocean.
I mean, we're getting onto like a different subject, yeah.
We are, but which one do you hear about, you know?
Of course, yeah.
You hear about Titanic more, and I think it all just plays back into that. Right. You had two devastating fires.
Yeah.
One was a big city, one was famous.
Yeah.
And then one was a little village.
So,
and it took 2 days for news to get out about it. So by then, everybody knew about the Chicago. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what it is. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, so to speak. And Chicago Fire got the news first.
Wow.
It was the starlight in the night, so to speak. And even though Peshtigo burned harder.
Yeah. And took 50 years.
It took 50 years for the big collaboration of this is all that we could collect.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, and I'm sure, you know, these people were not thinking about that the first couple of years. And, you know, who knows who actually thought about it
Yeah.
at first.
Yeah.
But nobody went to collect these people's stories.
No.
Nobody, and,
Which is
and
ridiculous.
that's what's sad.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. So much of history is lost.
Yeah.
Because the people that go through it are left to rebuild.
Yeah.
And they're not going to sit and write their stories when they're trying to rebuild and get their lives on track. They're not going to do that until after, usually.
Well, I mean, like, I mean, we can just say, like, we're honoring them right now by talking about them, especially the minister, like, doing what he did.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we can just say, like, right here, right now, we have honored them in a way that we hope will give them some peace at least, like, say, like, acknowledgement on that, like, for the bravery they've done, like, for the things they did and for the loss they had. I mean, it's still tragic, but we want to honor them at least.
I just hope that more people realize that this happened. I mean, they deserve to be remembered.
They do. And I think now that we've talked about them today on this podcast, I mean, like, hopefully this does raise, like, more awareness of it and, again, honors them in the tragic loss that they faced. It's a really horrible thing, and it's very sad.
It really is. And I mean, even researching it was just, I never knew these people, and I felt so bad for what they went through.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, I wish there was something I could have done.
Yeah.
I wasn't even alive, and I'm going, I wish I could have done something.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I mean, I was going to ask you that as a follow-up question, like, like, as we're getting closer to that, like, to the end of this, how did this impact you, like, reading this, like, researching this? How did this affect you, like, mentally and every sort of way possible? How did this impact you?
I mean, part of me goes, I can't imagine what these people went through.
Yeah.
And then part of me's going, I could only hope that I have the fortitude and bravery that these people did.
Yeah.
Because they are inspiring.
Yeah, very.
I mean, they took an absolutely just incredibly devastating time.
Yeah.
And they turned it into something beautiful. They rebuilt the town.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of the current town. It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
They have made a beautiful memorial to these people.
That's good.
I mean,
that's good to hear.
They keep the memory alive in that town.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring that they will not let that memory die, regardless of how fast the rest of the world moves around them.
Yeah.
They keep that alive. And I can only hope to be able to be even half that.
Yeah.
Because they really did start from scratch again.
Yeah.
And make something better.
And that just shows true resilience right there. Man,
It
let's
does.
just,
It really does.
yeah, it just shows real resilience. Just keep going and just saying that, look, no matter how bad it's gone, we're going to keep on, like, this is our home and we're going
It's
to
going to
make it
get
our
better.
home. Yeah, it has to get better, and we're going to prove it to the world that we are not just going to say goodbye to this place. And good for them for doing it. Yeah, I mean, it's only,
Yeah, because
yeah,
it's a beautiful place up there. I mean, to look at it now, today,
yeah, yeah.
it is absolutely gorgeous up there.
I
But
mean, yeah,
comparatively, it would have looked so desolate.
I mean, I was going to say, is there any plans for you to go and visit it anytime soon, or,
I would love to go visit. I would
yeah,
love to see the site and see, the museum and to
yeah,
learn more.
right,
But honestly,
yeah,
I have a goal to visit another place first that
okay,
hits a little bit closer to home.
okay,
And it is an upcoming topic,
right,
so I
okay,
won't spoil
interesting,
it too much.
right,
But yeah, it actually comes from my home state of Michigan.
ooh,
I say home state like I was born there, but
yeah, well,
I'll claim
home is home,
it.
yeah, yeah, home is home,
But I figure I grew up there long enough. I can claim it too.
yeah, yeah, that's fair,
But yeah, it comes from Michigan. It is something, ironically, that we memorialize every year. And I have tried to keep that tradition alive,
right,
even though I'm no longer up there.
okay, I mean,
So,
this is interesting, yeah,
well, I think that maybe we found our next podcast topic.
alright, well, I mean, I'm looking
So
forward to it, yeah,
I won't leave you in the dark too long.
I've, well, I mean, do you have any, like, closing segments for, like, for this, like, for this subject itself, for this one that we just touched on now?
Honestly,
Yeah,
I really think that we have just done as much as we can
yeah,
to bring this story out and share these people's stories.
yeah,
Because what else is there to say? I mean, these
yeah,
people gave their all
yeah,
in a battle that they really could not win.
yeah,
And, I feel for the ones that were lost,
yeah,
and I admire those who kept going.
yeah. I think tomorrow, I can't do it right now, but tomorrow I'll get a candle to, you know, light a candle in their honor and just say, like, thank you for those who, who stood by and just showed true resilience, and in honor of those who passed. I mean, like, it's a tragic story and it's a really hard hitting one.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, for a first episode, I mean, yeah, that's really hard.
Yeah, I really, I think maybe we should mix up the slightly lighthearted ones with because
The heavy ones.
it was heavier
Yeah.
speaking it than even reading it.
Yeah.
And I tried to prepare. I really did.
You can't prepare for this.
No.
You really can't.
I tried to brace myself.
You really can't.
I told myself that we're going to do this. We're going to, be as calm, as professional, as clear. But it's so impactful.
Yeah.
That you can walk in with the best of intentions to show no emotion and just keep it clear and concise. But once you add that human element, and you think about the people, they don't have to have a name, they don't have to have a face to feel the impact of what they went through.
No.
And I think that is where we lose so much in history.
Yeah, definitely.
We look at bare facts.
Yeah.
And we forget the humanity that goes into these events.
Yeah. We do. And again, thank you for doing the research. I know this is like a really touchy subject, and I mean, thank you for everyone listening.
Yeah, this is a labor of love. I feel like there's a lot of history that gets lost.
Yeah.
And if we don't remember where we came from,
exactly,
where are we going?
Exactly. As I always said, we can't forget about our past. We can evolve from it, but we should never forget about our past, because our past helps get us to where we are. This is something that our past that we need to learn from and continue to evolve from and make better judgments. So hopefully this is a lesson to be learned in multiple ways, and we all take notice of it. Again, thank you everyone for listening, and thank you, Punky, for creating this.
Thanks for being my co-host, because something like this, I mean, this isn't something that I take lightly. And
you can't.
I don't want to be telling a story that gets lost in time.
This one.
I want this to be, I want this to be something that does these people honor. And yes.
They'll definitely be honored.
And this means a lot to me. And I honestly did not think that I would ever get this chance to share these things.
I'm glad that we could.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome. And again, thank you everyone for tuning in to listening to our first one. Yes, it's a hard-hitting subject, and there'll be lighter ones in the future, but we'd like to just honor real stories like this, and whether it's sad, happy, whatever, but we want to bring stories that you haven't heard before. And like I said, some of them are going to be lighter, some of them we're going to joke about a bit more, but this one is one that we just had to hit really hard on, and hopefully you stick around to listen to more of them. So from the Engkanto for Punky, we'd like to wish you a good night or good morning, whichever state you're in, wherever you are.
Wherever you're at, have a good one.
Whichever way. Enjoy it, Peach. See you soon.
Later.
Ta-ta-ta.